Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Power Block, episode 173. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrigan. Alongside me, as always, is that retro code, Eddie V.
Someone called Dr. Mario. I need medicine. Hello, everybody.
Ed, you should have told me you were sick. We could have recorded on Thursday.
Oh no, we're going to do this. I'm super excited. I can't. Just what Nintendo dropped Monday night unexpectedly. I was up watching it over and over, and we're going to talk about it in the news. But of course, it's Power Block. I'm always excited. No sickness is going to stop me from talking. Even if I lost my voice, I will sign language everything if I need to.
That's great for an audio show. Sign language, everything. Oh man, we haven't really talked in a couple weeks. I mean, like seriously. Because we didn't do a show because of the holiday last week, and I think that's going to be a thing. Like when holidays roll around and whatever, I think if there's a major holiday that week, we probably won't record or wait and delay the show or whatever. But you've been all right the last couple weeks. How was your Thanksgiving? How was your Black Friday? How was all that?
It was really good. Thanksgiving. I actually had off of work. My mom, she cooked early, so we ate we had Thanksgiving Wednesday. So I ate there, and then she left the house Thursday for Thanksgiving, and I literally just played like games, and I'll talk about this on the Boss Rush podcast. I played like a lot of Xbox, finishing up some games right there. But like Black Friday, when I got off of work, I was just like, okay, let me head out and see what is on sale. And man, Nintendo killed. Like, I couldn't find any good stuff for Nintendo Switch because it was all brought out. Not saying that there wasn't good deals for any other platform, but just like if you was trying to look for Nintendo systems, games, controllers, and stuff like that, they were kind of gone.
Yeah,
and like I got a lot of Xbox games. I got about two or three PlayStation games, and I only got like 2 Switch games, and ordered one to be picked up for Friday. So I spent probably about $300, but I got about like 10 games, so I kind of did good. I think the most that I spent for a game was Outer Worlds for Xbox, because I thought it was on sale, but it wasn't. So I just paid the regular $60 and then realized that it was cheaper digitally. But I was just like, you know what? I got enough money, so I got it physically. But got really a lot of games for our Game of the Year discussion. The only one I didn't pick up was Death Stranding. Don't need it at this time. But like a lot of stuff I did pick up, and I know for a certain person I'm going to ask for a certain game, and so to get for Christmas. So I can't wait. Hopefully that person is able to deliver it, and I will be good to go for 2019. So, but pretty much everything. I literally was going back and forth about Bloodstain. I was going back and forth of getting it on PlayStation or getting it on Switch. And I was just like, if I'm going to play this, and I don't care about the problems that they have, I'm like, if I'm going to play this, I think I'm going to play it on Switch, due to the fact that if I'm on the road or something and I feel like playing this game, I have it on Switch instead of having it on at home. So, yeah, I'm so happy that I did pick it up, but I haven't started yet. Like right now, I'm just in the process of installing games. But had a really good Black Friday, Friday and Saturday.
Nice,
so.
Awesome. Well, we did Thanksgiving on Sunday because my mother-in-law had back surgery on Monday, so we all went over to my parents' house, my wife's family, and then my mom and dad and my kid all went over to my mom's. Kind of did two birds with one stone, because that Monday was also my birthday. So we kind of just hung out and ate and, just kind of did stuff. And
happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thanks. So we did that, and then that's kind of it. Thursday we didn't really do anything, and then my parents are in Florida right now, actually. So it was a weird Thanksgiving because like my wife was gone all day taking care of her mom, and it was just like a unnaturally weird kind of lonely Thanksgiving for me, and so I just kind of caught up on some stuff. I watched some shows on Disney Plus and Hulu and stuff, so I caught up on some things and edited some stuff and played around with some writing and played some Star Wars because my wife got that for me for my birthday. I was looking at all the games that on sale for Black Friday, and I was like, what do I get? Should I get something? Like, do I get anything? And so I got a couple things, but nothing like too exciting. It was just like dumb games that I wanted that were on sale. Like the Telltale Batman games on Switch were like $3 a piece for the whole season. So I ended up getting those.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's the whole season for $370.
Yeah, it was $374 or something, and
because I need to get
season.
this. It's the whole season, so
Yeah.
I need to buy it then before that sale ends because
I think it ends Thursday. So
I got money. I'll end up buying it today. Yeah, because I was just like, I own the first season, but I don't own the second, and I want to get the second.
Yeah, and I know those games. Like I have the first one on Xbox. But like for $3, like come on, these games are probably worth $3, right? So I got both seasons of that on Switch. I got the digital version of Bomberman, because it was $9, I think. And then
and I bought that one physically last year for Black Friday.
Yeah, so I mean it was I got Luigi's Mansion for my birthday, so I have that now, and I got, what else did I get? I got Assassin's Creed Odyssey's Season Pass on Xbox because it was on sale. But I mean, other than that, I was like looking through all the deals and stuff. Like there was a bunch of stuff that I wanted, but then it was like,
dude, they had I brought the Assassin's Creed 3 physical for Switch for $15.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I have a whole list of games that I need to finish this year, and like I almost got Ghost Recon for $30, but I was just like, I was looking at all these games, and I like hovered over the purchase screen for a little bit. I'm like, I really held back. I was like, I need to finish the list of games that I have because I still need to finish Control, After Party, Luigi's Mansion. I'm on the last mission of Fire Emblem. I need to finish that. I need to finish Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I need to finish,
Yeah, I do too.
a bunch of these games. And I'm like, you know what? There's 3 huge RPGs coming out next year for Switch in the first quarter. And I'm just like, Tokyo Mirage Sessions I'm going to buy.
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles I'm going to buy. And so like, and whatever else exciting Nintendo decides to put out. So Gods and Monsters comes out next year. So like, I kind of put that on hold. Plus, like, I talked to my wife, and I'm going to start budgeting for a new TV next year, right? Because, I mean, next year, mine will be 12 years old next year, right? I mean, that's not new by any stretch. I mean, it's a great TV. It still works and everything, and picture's fine. It's time to upgrade, like with the new Xbox coming out next year, which I plan on getting. So I'm kind of trying to budget the TV with the Xbox and a soundbar by next holiday is like the goal. So
yeah, because I do want to get like a 4K TV, probably like the same size that I got now. I don't need nothing too big. Like I want to be prepared for next year.
Yeah. So plus, like, I want everything to feel like fresh, you know. Like I have an Xbox One X, which will probably stay somewhere close just because we use it for a cable box, like for Hulu and everything. It's like our streaming box right now, and I was trying to hook my PlayStation up to be that, but I'm like, I haven't even plugged my PlayStation in, and we moved almost 3 weeks ago. And like, it's not that, it's just like, you know, we've had this conversation before, and I know this is Nintendo Power Block. This is going to be a long show. Let's just put it that way. But like, I just haven't found any interest in turning my PlayStation on in the last couple months, really, right? Like, I don't know. Nothing, and I don't really want to. Maybe we can talk about this on Boss Rush on Saturday or whatever. But like, I just haven't found any interest to turn it on, and nothing. Like Death Stranding's not very interesting to me. Like the only game that really like piques my interest right now is Concrete Genie, and like, to me that game's going to be on PlayStation Plus sooner than later. To me, just because like I don't think it's sold well.
Yeah, I got it like for $20. Like I'm just like, people, and I blame Sony on that.
Yeah, and
like,
yeah, I mean, we can talk about that a different day. I feel really bad for that and Medieval, to be honest with you. Like, I think those are two games that deserved more attention than they got. But
yeah, because like, really, if you think about Sony games, and yeah, we'll talk about this on BRG. Like Concrete Genie, I think got rated the highest out of all the games first party wise released for PlayStation.
Yeah, and like, I mean, it didn't really have a lot to like compete against, to be fair, last year. I mean, Days Gone and Death Stranding were like the two, right? But
yeah,
you know, like for me, like everything that's coming to Xbox Game Pass and like Xbox's first party and what Nintendo's doing with their first party and their indie initiative stuff, like, to me that's just way more exciting than what Sony's doing, you know. And I understand, like, I'm in the, like, we're kind of in the minority of that, where like I know a lot of PlayStation fans, like, they're celebrating their 25th anniversary this year, right? Like, that's a big milestone for any platform, and there's a lot of great games for PlayStation. It's just like, I mean, granted, one of my favorite games this generation is two of them are PlayStation exclusives, right? But like,
right,
it's just like, to me, PlayStation right now is just the exclusive box, and if there's something on PlayStation that I want to play, I'll play it there, you know. And like I said on the last episode of Boss Rush, I think is like, I almost bought Yakuza because they were all on sale for like $8 and $9, and the first 3 games are coming to Game Pass next year. Like, it's just like, you know, it's everything that I've wanted a PlayStation for, like Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Yakuza. Those games are now coming to Xbox, or, you know, Dragon Quest on Switch, right? Like, those games are where I play games the most now, and you know, it's Xbox is an exciting platform right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it's a very exciting platform right now, and I'm really excited for next year. So to wrap it back around to Black Friday, I've been budgeting for the new Xbox and a new TV, and trying to decide what size TV I should get. Should I stick with a 55 or should I get a 65? And then this Samsung soundbar was really cheap this Black Friday, and I hope next Black Friday it's just as cheap, because it's a really good one. It's the 5.1 simulated surround one.
Oh, nice.
That if you have Bluetooth speakers, you can hook them up to it, and it would simulate surround sound. So, but yeah, like, I didn't do anything exciting. I didn't get anything exciting. You know, I'm trying for next year. You know, so. Anyways, Ed, before we get into this housekeeping and the news and stuff,
yes,
we have some non-Nintendo questions, as some of our fans have put it. So I think if people write in like this, we're going to start the show out with these non-Nintendo questions.
Yeah.
So our first question comes from Xavier Combs, he says, "Hey guys, I'm a longtime listener, and as a consumer of a lot of podcasts, I wanted to add something non-Nintendo, if you will, that I think will be fun. Is there anything you are currently watching? Anything fun or exciting, or just plain interesting?"
Watching or just interesting or playing or anything?
He said, "Is there anything you are currently watching?" And then is it anything fun or exciting or just plain interesting?
At this time, I'm not watching anything. Only to the fact that I haven't searched out for anything. I could tell you some stuff that I have watched that is very interesting, or it may not be fun in a sense, but if you are into anime, I keep watching like Food Wars. That's on Hulu. They have the subtitle one and the overdub, like the English one. I keep going back to that. I kind of been watching on Netflix. I watched Carol and Tuesday, which is like a musical anime. Great soundtrack. They have it on iTunes, and the new one is out also. The next season is coming out on Christmas Eve. It's about two musicians coming together to form this kind of little band, and all of these characters fall into it. Carol, she's a black girl who plays piano, and Tuesday is this rich white girl who plays guitar, and they're trying to find their way to people here, listen to their music, and like get noticed and stuff. And they like almost each episode has a song and stuff. But it's really good, really fun if you're into anime stuff like that. But that's kind of pretty much what I've been in. I don't have Disney Plus, so I haven't been watching The Mandalorian or any of their content. But that's kind of the things I've been looking at. I need to find a new comedy, and I need to find a new drama. Because I love like murder dramas and stuff like that. So I need to go on my Hulu and look for that.
You're like a 40-year-old housewife that plays games.
Well, that is true. I mean, because like my taste in like a lot of stuff, like I wish I could get into more sci-fi, but I don't. I get so much into watching a little bit of YouTube and everything that I need to stop watching TV shows and watch a new series and be like, oh, I need to talk about this, and I need to. I'm like, oh wow, okay, I need to do that again, because I love comedies, I love murder mysteries, I love dramas. I still love like stuff like the Forensic Files, how they investigate crimes and they find the DNA stuff. I love things like that. So, and of course, playing games and everything.
Of course, the games.
Because I wish Captain N was on Hulu or Netflix, and I would watch that. What if
they just released it as part of like the Nintendo Online? Like you had to subscribe to Nintendo Online and you could watch Captain N for free, or like or like any of the old like Nintendo cartoons, like the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, or like the Kirby show that was on WB for a while. Or like the old Zelda show that was really bad.
I think the last Kirby that came out, that is on Netflix. That Kirby and Sonic just got on Netflix.
I knew Sonic was, but yeah, that'd be hilarious if they were just like, hey, all that really bad stuff that we used to make, if you subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online, you can watch it.
Oh, I would love for that to happen. Oh, please, Nintendo. Like, I want to see the Pikmin shorts that was on 3DS.
Yeah,
like on Switch.
Yeah, I don't know why those aren't like anywhere. Like they just really aren't anywhere.
Yeah, they were so funny and so good.
Yeah. So, man, Nintendo, good times.
Yes.
Do you want me to go now? I guess.
Yeah, you can go.
Well, I've been watching The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. It's a pretty good show. I'm enjoying it. The last episode was pretty good. The fourth episode, for those who are listening on Saturday, I think the fifth episode comes out on Friday. So
Okay.
we've like Disney's doing the normal TV thing where there's a new episode every week, instead of the Netflix thing where they just release it all at once. So The Mandalorian is pretty good. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Like the episodes are like 35 to 40 minutes long. It's pretty good. I'm not even like a huge Star Wars fan, although the last couple weeks though, I feel like I'm like the biggest Star Wars fan ever because I've been watching The Mandalorian. I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order. I've been playing some Battlefront 2. So like it's like I feel like I'm like the biggest Star Wars fan ever, and I'm like, no.
Which is great because the next movie come out in like it's more weeks, 2 or 3 more weeks.
I know, and I'm not. I mean, it's like it's almost the Avengers thing where I'm like really hoping somebody like invites me to go watch it with them, because I'm like we're not gonna get a babysitter for a movie, right? Like it's just too much. So I'm probably gonna get spoiled on it, which is fine. I am glad I got to see the Avengers unspoiled. Like that was just like a cool thing. It's but Star Wars is a different beast that I care a little bit. Like I feel like I'm more invested in Star Wars now than I ever have been for some reason. but I really enjoy The Mandalorian. It's really a really strong show. It doesn't like do anything super cheesy. Like the episode 3, the end of episode 3 really reminded me of like a really cool Halo scene. So I'm liking it. So I've been watching that, and then I've also been watching The Imagineering Story on Disney Plus, which is like the history of the theme parks and how they like create different rides and attractions, and like their decisions on building like the international parks, and like the second episode is all about how they like moved on, like it was like their first big step after Walt Disney died, and like how they kind of regrouped from that. And like it's like even if you're not a huge Disney fan, like even if you're just like a theme park fan or an amusement park fan, I think you should watch it if you have Disney Plus, because it's really, really good. And like I watched it all. Like there's 4 episodes out right now, and I think the 5th episode also comes out on Friday. But it's so good that like I started rewatching it with my wife, and it's just this in like
it's fascinating with all the history.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah, and so I've been watching that, and I like. I'm a huge Disney fan. And my love for Disney comes from going to the parks forever. I'm actually going in February. I'm very excited with my dad. My dad and I are taking a quote unquote boys trip to Disney. So I'm very excited about that because like. It's like not to be like morbid or anything, but like, I'm getting older. My dad's getting older. We want to do something before, he gets too old or like Riley gets too big and like we start like catering our vacations around her, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So we're like, you know what? It's either now or never. We need to do this. And, we're going to go hang out, and I think it'll be good because like, I don't know. I kind of owe a lot of what I like and what I kind of do to my dad. Like he's like, I don't know. he got me into games. He got me into Disney. He got me into like working on stuff, even though he's like more of like a carpenter type guy and I'm more of a electronic hookup type guy, you know, like he's taught me a lot. And so like, I think that this trip will be really good for us to do. And like, I'm hoping to do a special 1v1 with him about our Disney trips and stuff like that. So, it should be fun.
Ooh, to get your dad the podcast.
I know.
Yeah,
dude,
that'd be really interesting.
If you guys find the old episodes on DNA, there is a short-lived show called Dad's Turn where I made him play some old games, and I feel really bad because like a lot of them we recorded like 10 or 12 episodes and none of them turned out except for like 2 of them like really good, because like it was when I first started doing this that I didn't really know how to get the audio working and everything. So, but there's dude, we recorded a Wii Sports episode like 3 separate times, and he beat me in bowling, golf, and tennis. So, yeah. So, I am excited for that trip. I hope that is, something that we can talk about and remember for a long time. And I want to do something really cool with this trip with him. So yeah, it's exciting. So that's kind of all I've been watching. I've been watching a lot of YouTube, but it's mostly like when I can't listen to podcasts at work, I'll watch them on YouTube, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, and that's kind of it. But yeah, The Mandalorian and The Imagineering Story are really, really cool shows on Disney Plus that I highly recommend. So,
yes.
Our last question before we get into like housekeeping and news and what we've been playing and stuff. Samantha Cross asks a simple question, but something a little insightful for us fans. What would you be podcasting about besides video games if you were to do so? What would you structure it like, and what would you do with it? Well, I mean, I would be doing a Disney show, and I actually put a tweet out. I wanted to see, like, I do think like within the next 6 months I do want to start some sort of Disney podcast about like the parks and stuff. I don't know, man. I've been really like itching to do something with Disney for a long time, and like I don't know. I don't know what I want to do with it. You know, like the Disney Food Blog does a lot of cool stuff, and like the Theme Park does cool stuff with Disney. Like these are Disney YouTube channels that you guys should go check out. Like it's, I don't know what I could do. Like I you know, Ed, you and I have been invested in like the video game podcast scene so long that like we know the structure of a video game podcast and we know how to mold it to fit us, right? And so I don't really know how you would do a Disney theme park podcast. Like there's not like an IGN for Disney parks, right? Like it's like, I don't know, man. Like that's what I would want to do though.
It's always you okay, so to actually answer that question goes alongside with your answer, but mine is different. So because you're Disney, I've always been Six Flags, always been a big theme park person about Six Flags, and my focus and my love for theme parks has always been roller coasters. So if I was going to podcast something about it, I would always do roller coasters. And what you want to do is, what my structure would be is giving a history of that roller coaster, talk about some of the designs, the places that it came from, where in other parts of the world it's that same roller coaster but under a different name. I will have to talk about some of the down parts, like if there was accidents and stuff happened, but kind of talk about the history of that roller coaster and why it's so many. With the same thing could be done with Disney, because you got a lot of historic stuff, like talking about Space Mountain, talking about the Michael Jackson experience, like talking from about the 80s to the 90s and how the Disney rights transformed and some of their shows and stuff. Like you could talk so much about it, even though you're not there. If you do the research and you talk about it, you could get a sense about what that theme in the Disney theme park or even Six Flags, what they was about. And everything. And yes, you can talk about the food, because my thing would be like, yeah, they had their own pizza, but like years later Papa John's is doing pizza for them. It's just like, it's weird, like when I'm talking about Six Flags, and you could talk about memories that you had within the theme park. Like if I was definitely not talking about games and stuff, I kind of would talk about, even though this is a little bit so this is a little bit game related, talk about how the arcades were kind of exclusive to Six Flags than it was different parts in my area. I couldn't play the Pac-Man Lego looking game. Only could play that at Six Flags. No other place had it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that would be cool to do deep dives on the history of like the rides, like why Pirates of the Caribbean exists, and like the Haunted Mansion, and like the cool effects that happen in the Haunted Mansion, or like how Disney made Splash Mountain out of a really bad Song of the South attraction, and kind of use those old props and turn it into something that people love instead of something that maybe Disney kind of regrets doing. You know what I mean? Like that's all really like fascinating stuff, and like how Disney's original vision of Walt Disney World, which a lot of people like think of Disney World as just like a bigger Disneyland, which is kind of true, but like instead of like having the 4 theme parks and the water parks and stuff, Disney wanted it, like the whole project, to be Epcot, but Epcot would be like a community where, like a self-sufficient community where people would like, it's all in that Disney documentary on Disney Plus. Some of that stuff is where like, Epcot would be like the central hub, and people would kind of work towards the center of town, and then they would live towards the outside of town, and like it would have its own hospital and farming system and all these kinds of weird, crazy things that like sounds almost like a cult when you put it that way, but like the forward thinking nature of what he was talking about is just super fascinating. And like how Epcot kind of turned into its own theme park about technology and world preservation instead of like a city.
And you got to remember that there's 2 Disneys here in America: Disneyland and Disney World.
Yeah, Walt Disney World is in Florida. It's a huge, massive. It spans 2 kind of municipalities right outside of Orlando, and then Disneyland is 4.5 acres of good, clean fun. Is how,
because that one is in San Diego.
Because I've been in Anaheim, I think, right outside of Anaheim.
Oh, I thought it was in San Diego.
It's in Anaheim. It's right outside Anaheim, which they've kind of like bought up the land around it, so it's bigger now. But
that's probably why. Because I went to Disneyland in California. And when I was staying out in California, we were in San Diego because we went to SeaWorld. We went to like one of their movie theaters. That's where I saw Roger Rabbit, and like San Diego Zoo and stuff. And so when I think about it, and I am probably wrong, so I apologize. You're probably right, Corey. You're right. At that time, I thought Disneyland was still in San Diego because it was so big, and we didn't spend a long drive getting there.
Right.
So,
yeah. And
then I did go to Disney World in 8th grade for our school trip, and I've been to Epcot and I've been to Disney World, and it was just like, wow.
Yeah, it's Disney World is a beast, you know. All four of the theme parks there are massive, and you know, the water parks are massive, and downtown is massive. It's not downtown anymore. I think it's called Disney Springs now, but like, you know, there's so much there that they said you could spend one day or 1 year down there doing something different every day and still not experience everything.
Yeah.
So that's what I would be podcasting about probably, and it's the more we talk about it, the more it's like, yeah. So
well, I know for me, you know, I talked about Six Flags and all that history and roller coasters and stuff. Another one I would have did would be songwriting. That's one things I like to do. So I think I would probably talk to different songwriters or talk about how the process or of songwriting and thinking and doing arrangements and stuff like that, because that's kind of like my second favorite thing to do when it comes to just talking about hobbies and stuff is music. So I think I would have did that. I was thinking of doing like something about art and photography and talking about different styles and learning them from different people, but I decided not to get into that just yet, I should say. And also I have some experience kind of for a side thing. I'll call it retail tales, and I kind of find different crazy retail stories and read them out on the podcast. And I have some friends who we looked at some retail stories from GameStop, and we read them out and act them out.
That's
and everything.
Funny.
So like I would love to do more of that too.
That's funny.
But yeah. But if I wasn't talking about games, those things I definitely would talk about and everything.
Well, you know, if you know, Boss Rush kind of grows the way we want it to, maybe that stuff will be part of future plans, you know. So
yeah,
because I would really like to do that kind of stuff in the future, you know, maybe like 6 months from now, see how we're growing and see what we're doing, and
I know for me, like the Disney stuff and like the Six Flags stuff, I literally would just buy books and like research and be like, okay, Corey, did you remember this? and go over stuff like that, and just be like, I'm not experienced in Disney with their theme parks, Six Flags I am, but I would just sit and be amazed and just talk about Disney.
Yeah.
And stuff. I think with me, when it comes to Disney, it's like their entertainment that I fall more into than their theme parks, because of me not visiting Disney like on a regular basis, but me being at Six Flags and some of their parks and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe we should start talking about some Nintendo stuff now. Let's get into the housekeeping. 40 minutes into the show. This is Nintendo Power Block, Boss Rush Games Nintendo podcast. Remember, you can email the show at nintendopowerblock@gmail.com to write questions in like Xavier and Samantha did, along with some others in the near future with our news bits and our question block here. Or you can find our social media threads through Boss Rush Games when we ask for questions. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Boss Rush Games, or on Twitter at Boss_Rush_Games. We will also be starting our live shows again, hopefully within the next couple weeks. I'm finishing up some updates and stuff for my computer so we can get that going again. But you can follow us on Mixer and Twitch at Boss Rush Games Live. So mixer.com/Boss Rush Games Live and twitch.tv/Boss Rush Games Live. You can also check out all of our content on bossrushgames.com. Yeah, so we're going to get into what we've been playing. Ed, I'm going to go first if you don't mind. It's relatively short. I've been kind of sucked up into Star Wars, so it hasn't been a lot of Switch stuff for me lately. But I did start Luigi's Mansion 3. It's a beautiful game. I would almost argue it's in the top 3 best looking Switch games right now by far. I think it is. I think it's the closest thing to a Mario animated something that we're going to get until that movie comes out. It's unbelievably good looking. I can't even explain how good looking it is. It's very, very beautiful. I love the way Luigi interacts with that ghost dog at the beginning.
Yeah,
it's just adorable. Is that Ghost Dog from Dark Moon? Is that where he first appeared?
Yes.
So yeah, that's fun. The controls are a little. They take a little bit to get used to because.
Yeah, I had that problem with it.
It's I don't know how I would want it to control, but it's for some reason it's not like this. But again, I've been playing other games that use different controls. I think it's just something I need to focus on after I finish Star Wars and just play Luigi's Mansion, and maybe the controls will stick. So it's almost like half tank controls, half twin stick shooter almost.
Yeah.
So it's weird, but look, I like Luigi's Mansion. I love the first one, and so this game, I do want to put way more time into it, but it's charming. It's very, very wonderful. It's just a joy to watch these characters move around and the sounds they make and stuff. So I think I'm going to like Luigi's Mansion 3, but I think it's going to be more the charm of nostalgia and me just loving Luigi's Mansion than actually playing it. But we'll see. I need to spend more time with those controls. Like I said earlier in the show, I'm on the final battle of Fire Emblem, and that game's difficulty spike in the last 2 levels it got really hard, like ridiculously hard, to the point where I kind of just want to look up the last battle on YouTube and watch it because it is so hard. I've restarted the last battle 3 times.
Oh no,
it's really difficult. I might turn the difficulty down a little bit because there is one difficulty level underneath it just to finish it, because I've put so much time into that game not to finish it, so but I like where the story's going. I do want to play it again from a different perspective to see how it plays out, because the more I'm playing the Black Eagles, they have the funnest characters to interact with, but also I kind of feel like they are the bad guys from all kinds of perspectives. So I do want to play as a different house and see.
Is the Black Eagles the red team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they just really feel like bad guys. So we'll see. I do want to play it again as a different house and probably on an easier difficulty level just to play through it, because it's a fun game. It just boy, these last 2 or 3 levels, man, the difficulty spike has just been outrageous. But I did get the new outfits for the characters, and boy, they yeah, we'll just leave it at that. And then I've also been playing BoxBoy and BoxGirl. Last night I was laying in bed.
Nice.
And I wanted to play Luigi's Mansion, but I was tired, and I wanted to play Fire Emblem, but it was too hard. I'm like, what game haven't I spent a lot of time this year with that I need to spend more time with? And it was between Yoshi's Crafted World and BoxBoy and BoxGirl, and I'm like, I've played enough Yoshi's Crafted World to know what that is, and I want to keep playing it, but I need to play BoxBoy and BoxGirl.
I need to do the same.
And
I feel like you need to play Yoshi's Crafted World all the way. And
I am. I just, this. I sent you a picture this weekend, I think, of Riley. She took my Switch and was just kind of like, doing whatever with it. So I was like, I want to put something on that maybe she can like feel like she's doing something, right? So I put Mario Odyssey on, and I took her to the to the Nintendo 64 world, right? The Peach's Castle or whatever, and she was like she knew like she was controlling Mario, right? But she didn't know what to do, right? Like she knew like if she did stuff, like it would like she could control Mario, which was really kind of impressive for a 16-month-old to know. Like, okay, if I wiggle one of these sticks or press one of these buttons, Mario's going to do something. But then she kept turning it on camera mode, and then she kept getting frustrated. So I was like, okay, let me put on Yoshi's Crafted World on mellow mode. And she realized that she could move this, that moving the stick would move Yoshi, right?
Yeah.
But she didn't, like, there was a bunch of enemies in her way, and she would run into the enemy and she would die. But like the fact that she knew that she could control Yoshi with the stick was very impressive to me. And like, you know, I'm not just saying that because she's my kid. I'm saying that a 16-month-old figured out that she could control something on the screen just by moving the stick, and it was impressive. Then she threw it on the ground and like yelled at me, but I was like, good thing I bought that tempered glass screen protector. But you know, she it was fun watching her try to figure it out, and you know, that was kind of cool. So, but back to BoxBoy and BoxGirl. That game is, if you play the 3DS ones, it's just more of that, but really fun. The music is really fun. It's like a modernized, pixelated soundtrack, just like the other ones, and it's fun. I highly recommend it. I think it's only $15 on the eShop, or 20 or something, but it's worth every penny. So, but that's kind of all I've been playing on Switch. I have a list of games that I need to at least play before our Game of the Year discussion, because I'm planning a pretty big Nintendo Power Block Game of the Year discussion, and I'll send you some of the plans I've been working on, Ed, but it's gonna be a doozy. It's gonna be fun. That show's gonna be like 3 hours long. It's
going to be in.
We're gonna have to record that episode in like 3 sittings. It's gonna be so long.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because 2019 has been bonkers for Nintendo.
Yeah. So, but that's all I've been playing for Switch. I'm gearing up for that Assassin's Creed Rebel collection this weekend. Also, Black Flag and Rogue are coming to Switch this weekend, so very excited.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the 2-pack, 3-pack actually, but because Freedom Cry is in there too, I think. So.
Yeah, because like I said, the one with Assassin's Creed 3, they have Liberation.
Yeah.
With it. Mm-hmm. So it's the other one that's what, Black Flag.
It's Black Flag, Rogue, and Freedom Cry, which is the expansion I think it was just a separate game that came with the season pass, where you play as Adewale, I think is his first mate's name, and it's about him kind of going around and creating a crew of freed slaves. So it's kind of a cool story to tell, I think.
Okay.
So, I don't know. It was free on PlayStation Plus at some point, but it's coming to Switch, and I'm very excited. So, and I've never played Rogue, which is the game I've wanted to play because I love Black Flag so much. So, what are you playing, Ed?
So I am still playing Pokemon Sword and Shield. Mostly Pokemon Sword. I am grinding right now. I am at the 4th gym. Just building up my Pokemon and everything. Haven't really did that much trading in or anything. And man, like I really love this game. Like I I think it deserves a 9.5. Not an actual 10. Um but like I still love going into the battles. I still love grinding. I still love getting all my Pokemon. Yes, other people have beaten it, and I should have been done with Pokemon, but I can't help the fact that I gotta collect and I gotta grind. It's just that's just the nature of Pokemon when it comes to those games. So I will try my best to have it done by the end of the year. I won't make it a backlog game or anything. Shield would be backlogged because once I'm done with Sword, I can hop into Shield and run through that game and everything. Because I'll know what to do and have that and just have whatever I need to have. But I really am enjoying it. I also been playing.
Yes. I've been hearing so many good things about it that I'm just like, I want to, like, it's like I'm interested in it for the first time in a while. Like I just there's been too many other things that I haven't finished, and just adding another big RPG to my list is like really scary. And I'm man, I want to play it so bad though.
I know. I've also been playing while I'm at work, like on break, sort of Ditto, getting further into that, like unlocking that. Man, I do not like how the game starts because it takes about 2.5 minutes before you can actually get into the game. There's like once you click on the icon to start it, there's about a 30-second loading time, and this is a digital game, and so it takes literally a while to actually get into the game. And I'm just like, I don't have the time for this, because it makes you think that is my system broke? Is something wrong with the game? Like, why is it taking this long? And normally when like the 2 minutes have passed and you actually get into the game, it's quite fun. You're exploring and everything. But man, it just takes so long, and I just be like, I don't want to do this. Played a little bit of Smash Ultimate, like I did the update and everything, and really enjoying that. Just waiting for the last character to be revealed, and then I'll go buy the season pass, and I'll have everything ready to go with that. But that's pretty much all I've been playing. I am going to jump back into Luigi's Mansion. I stopped playing it because I started playing not Link's Awakening. I stopped playing it because I started playing sort of Ditto and Pokemon. But I'm going to get back into it. At the part I'm at now, with no spoilers, I think I need to play it on the TV to see if I'm missing some things, because I've been playing it in handheld mode, and there's been some things that I've been missing. That I'm just like, oh, I didn't even realize this. Like, playing it on TV helps you see the game a little bit better than just playing on handheld. And maybe I need to turn the brightness up or something. But like, I'll probably be getting back to Luigi's Mansion because I need to finish that also. But that's pretty much it. Because I did like I said, I did finish a certain game on Xbox, but I'll talk about that on Boss Rush podcast. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Nice. Before we get into these news bits, I want to encourage people who listen to the show, our fans and friends and everything, for the Game of the Year stuff that we talk about. I want to hear your guys' personal games of the year and why you think they deserve to be those games of the year. I think it's important that our fans have input on our games of the year and stuff. We did it in the past for past groups. I think I would like to do that again.
Yes.
I think we're gonna put polls in the Boss Rush Games Facebook group and the Twitter polls. Like I I want to know what your guys' games of the year are. So your vote counts towards our game of the year. Whether it's we're gonna have our own personal lists, of course, but we're gonna give games different points depending on how we vote for them personally and how you guys vote. So just write in nintendopowblock@gmail.com. Tweet at us. Just give us your thoughts on your personal game of the year. I want to know. We want to know. So just write us and let us know.
Yeah, and also everybody, go to Wikipedia and even check for games of 2019 in case if you think a game didn't come out this year, and that you still like it or anything. That will help you kind of know what came out for Switch and everything for the whole year.
Yeah. Also, Game Informer has a pretty robust list of 2019 releases. So
yes.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna get on to these news bits here. Our first story is from IGN. It's Ed brought this to my attention yesterday, and it was pretty interesting because this was not an update to this game that I thought we were ever gonna get. But the story from IGN from Mark Medina: Super Mario Maker 2 gets an update. Zelda Dungeon Maker becomes a reality, sort of. So, the most exciting new thing to hit Super Mario Maker 2 is the ability to wield Link's Master Sword and, of course, become Link himself. Playing as Link comes with a whole new varied move list. Link can fire arrows in multiple directions, pull out bombs on command, and ground slam with his sword, and dash forward with his sword out. With your brand new move list, the possibility is opens up for temple-like puzzle solving and even custom-made bosses, and is definitely intriguing. Puzzle rooms are nothing new to Mario Maker, but you've always been restricted to Mario's limited moveset. Exploring the Nintendo-made dungeons were challenging, but satisfying, just like a Zelda dungeon should be. Several times through my playthrough, was I told that I solved something in an unintended way, but to me, that's where the fun comes in. So, kind of moving down through the rest of this article, I was given a hands-off demo of a brand new mode coming to Super Mario Maker 2 called Ninja Speedruns. The idea here is that Nintendo will periodically release stages built with speedrunning in mind, and players will race to get the fastest times on these levels. So Mario Maker's getting a big update, and Zelda seems to be the center of attention, if you will, which is very, very intriguing. So
yes.
What do you think of this update? This was a pretty interesting update, a pretty big news story floating around the internet yesterday and today. So
yeah, so Nintendo dropped this at 12 o'clock at night. Nobody know anything about it. So I'm watching the video and I'm getting excited with some of the enemies and the ice coins, and I'm just like, oh, okay, they're doing some. Wait, what the world is the Legend of Zelda Master? Wait, huh?
Yeah.
And literally watching that, I lost my mind. I was just like, this is insane. Like, what are they doing? And I love that they're doing that. They put in the run mode from Super Mario 3D World. And I was just like, if I could make Sonic the Hedgehog / roller coaster level, I'm literally all in. That's all I want to do now when that drops. And funny enough, by the time you guys see this, it will already be out. Yeah. It is a free download. So I think I love the fact that they took time to get more stuff added on. Yes, we still don't have Super Mario Brothers 2. I'm fine with that. And yes, the Zelda thing can only be played in Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario Brothers original game, but I'm fine with that too. I'm glad that they added this free content. It seems small, but there's going to be more. This is stuff that's going to bring you back to that game. That's going to bring everybody just like, man, I forgot about creating levels. Okay, now that I got this, I can enhance my levels, and I can add this, and I can add that, or I can make this level. And I really hope that they support this. I kind of and it's fine that they took like 5 months to do this, because the July, August, September, October, November.
I think they just want to do like periodic updates to it, because like a lot of Nintendo's games, they're gonna support it for years, right? Like Splatoon still gets updates. I know their Splatfests are over, but it's still getting updates and stuff. ARMS got 18 months of updates. Smash clearly is getting updates. Mario Kart just got an update a couple months ago for Labo. Like Nintendo has secretly been doing the live game service thing for a while now, and they've been doing it very well. DLC stuff for free, or relatively inexpensive. And this Mario Maker update just goes to show you that like even games that don't seem like they need updates are going to get fun, cool updates. And Mario Maker was a game that we were all really into for, about a month before, I got sidetracked by Fire Emblem, and
same here.
And then, other games started coming out, and we just kind of got sidetracked because we want to kind of keep up with things. But
which happened to pretty much every Nintendo fan.
Dude, I went out and I bought a stylus for Mario Maker, right? Like I bought a stylus pen for Mario Maker just so I can make levels, right? Like I wasn't planning on even getting that game, and then everybody that we kind of talk to or play games with was getting it, and so I was like, okay, I'll get it, and I ended up getting that and Marvel Ultimate Alliance with the voucher program this summer, and I was like, well, Mario Maker is awesome. Ed doesn't like my levels, but it was fun. It was fun for...
I beat your levels. I was entertained by them.
You're still like one of the only people that have beaten my levels. So, oh man, that first level was just mean.
You just threw everything. I'm like, what did he design? And I never gave up. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna learn this level. Which is like, I don't know how he did this, but this is evil at its finest, and I'm going to persist.
Yep, and it was fun. Let me tell you, I know that they weren't great Nintendo quote-unquote levels, but they were fun. So, but yeah.
Then you play my level, it's a cake, and it's not a cakewalk, but it's refreshing.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got an interesting question about the Mario Maker update from Russell Fabian. He writes in, he says, hey guys, with Link's Awakening's dungeon thing and this new update to Mario Maker 2, do you think we are going to eventually get a full-blown Zelda Maker soon? Is this Nintendo testing the waters?
We won't get a full Zelda dungeon maker. I don't think we need one, because the thing about it is that creating something like a Zelda game is hard, and you really got to think outside the box. It like what makes a Zelda game is the puzzles. And if you're a person who is not really into puzzles and really think creatively on how to do them, it's more than just going from room to room, swashbuckling everything for action. You really need to design a dungeon that's going to make you think, and really make you like put things into place. So I think Nintendo is good at what they do. I don't think they are willing to put the tools out for us to mess with. It doesn't make sense. Mario is easier because it's platforming. You could design a platform out of anything. Heck, Titanfall 2 is pretty much a platformer, even though it's in first person mode.
Yeah.
Same way that Metroid Prime is. It's a platform.
Yeah, and I think the reason why Mario Maker 2 and Mario Maker in general has been so popular and where other things like and something like Little Big Planet was popular on PS3, whereas Project Spark on Xbox and Dreams right now are struggling to find audiences, is because Mario Maker, like 2D Mario, like in concept is simple, right? You don't have to create any kind of physics or characters or anything. Like, the essence of what Mario is, right? So
yes,
that gives you a way bigger head start on something than something like Dreams, where there's some pretty impressive things in Dreams, right? But like you can make a pretty decent Mario level in an hour or two, right? Whereas Dreams, some of this stuff has taken 6-8 months to do, where it took somebody that long to make something walk or what I mean. Like, I think the ease of use in Mario Maker has been its strong point, and that's why I don't think we're going to get a Zelda Dungeon Maker, because like Ed said, puzzles are very difficult to design. and designing that through like a whole dungeon, designing one puzzle is difficult, but designing a whole dungeon and even like an overworld with multiple dungeons would be incredibly difficult, and I don't think it would do very well. If we get any other type of Maker game, I think a Metroid game would be more intriguing than a Zelda Dungeon Maker, to be honest with you. And I don't think we'll ever get that, but I'm just saying, like, the ease of platforming style games is just easier to design around. So
yeah, you kind of got to think, when it comes to Zelda, you got to think of the top down versus 3D. I'm speaking more about the top down stuff than the 3D. Yeah. They won't release a 3D. That's too much space. The top down one, it has a lot of backtracking, and it does have puzzles, but you really got to think on how everything and all of those levels connect and everything. And so you're going to spend time. You just can't put 4 rooms together and put it out and be like, this is a dungeon. It doesn't. The Zelda doesn't work that way. People will roast you about your thing being too easy, or it wasn't enough thought created. So
yeah, and I think like, talking about Zelda's dungeons, I think like if anybody had any gripes about Breath of the Wild, it was their dungeon design, not their shrine design, but their dungeons, right? Like, they were relatively simple compared to older Zelda dungeons, right? And so, even Nintendo doesn't get them perfect all the time. Like, for me personally, that was the weakest part of the whole game, was their dungeons.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you have anything else to tell?
No. I think if you're going to get into creating, if you want a Zelda thing, it's good that you mentioned Dreams, because I feel like Dreams is a better representation of making a Zelda Maker, or learning how to design a game in the Zelda franchise. Like, you got to deal with assets, you got to deal with how big or how small the room is and placement and everything. You really need to think about that and learn it, and I think Dreams will be a good example. Yes, not a PlayStation game, but you really would get a sense of how a dungeon in a Zelda game is done, is created, especially if you're trying to do something in 3D. That it's a great way to do that. And also, if you want another dungeon game, try Minecraft. Dragon Quest Builders 2 or Dragon Quest Builders is a good one. You can make a dungeon like that. It'll be hard to share with people, I think, but if they have an online function where people could come in because I think the Dragon Quest Builders 2, I think you can make a blueprint of whatever you created and send it out to different people. If you're into stuff like that, pick up those games and really design out the box. Really, and also everybody, please think that when you are doing this, placement is important.
Mm-hmm.
You really got to think where things are at, where how it fits into the dungeon and what theme that you're going to do. So like really take your time. Sorry, really take your time on how you're going to do that. Just don't think that you get some tool set and you can just put something together. Dungeons in the Zelda game do not work that way.
Yeah. All right, Ed, we're going to move on to our next news story here. This comes from Nintendo Life. Yacht Club reveals that 25% of total Shovel Knight sales are on Nintendo Switch, which is incredibly impressive, considering it's on 12 different platforms, and that 25% are coming from Switch. And I'm sure probably closer to 35 or 40% are coming from Nintendo platforms, to be 100% honest. So we're gonna read this story here. Since starting out life on Kickstarter, Shovel Knight has always had close ties to Nintendo systems. Nintendo even acknowledged this by adding Yacht Club's popular indie hero into its all-star fighting game Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as an assist trophy, not as a fighter. I wish as a fighter, because I would go nuts. This close bond with Nintendo appears to have paid off, with Yacht Club Games' Sean Velasco and David D'Angelo recently revealing the Switch game sales account for, quote, 25% of the total sales on all platforms. As wild as the sales currently are on the Switch, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove Collection is still selling decently on other platforms. In July, Yacht Club Games celebrated Shovel Knight's 5th anniversary. I can't believe that game's been out for 5 years already. In this short time frame, he's made over 25 cameos and has sold more than 2.5 million copies of his game across 12 different platforms. His next outing is Shovel Knight King of Cards and Shovel Knight Showdown next week. Oh my gosh, it's coming out next week. I forgot.
Yeah.
And is expected to follow this up with Shovel Knight Dig in the near future. So
when does the complete Shovel Knight come out? Is it next Friday or next Tuesday?
The physical?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's find out. But I forgot that was coming out.
I knew it was coming out, but I just couldn't remember the day, because I think that's when it comes out. The amiibo's supposed to drop.
Oh yeah, the amiibo are coming out too. Oh boy. This item will be released on December 10th, it says. So, yep, there's your answer.
So that is next Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I'm off, so I would be at probably Target or Best Buy getting it.
Yeah. Did you know they made a 12-inch plush too of Shield Knight and Shovel Knight?
No, I did not.
I didn't either. I just saw it. So, man, I love Shovel Knight so much. I don't know if you knew that or not, but I love Shovel Knight so much.
I cannot wait. Like, I think people are literally waiting for this game to drop physically for Switch, with the amiibo. Like I am.
Yeah, I mean, like I can't wait for these amiibo. I want that more than like the physical edition, to be honest. I'm gonna get the physical edition regardless, but like,
yeah,
woof, boy.
I can admit that I was very hesitant about this game coming to Switch when they announced it, because there wasn't a certain date, and I just felt like I'm not going to believe anything, because if they don't give me a date, I feel like it's going to get delayed and pushed. And so I didn't get my hopes up, but when they actually went and confirmed the date, I was just like, okay, yes, now I could be happy and excited for this. Like, and it's nothing against Yacht Club or anything, but I'm just like, I need a date, because you guys once again delayed it too many times, and I now need something concrete that if you guys are going to give us a date, you need to give us a date.
Well, I think they just want it. I think they delayed it so like all their updates could be on the cart without an update, I think is what they said. So, yeah, man, Shovel Knight, if you haven't played it, I really highly recommend it. It's a really fun fun game. Spectre of Torment by far is like that
The best out of the DLC.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's better than the base game too, personally. As much as I love the base game, like Spectre of Torment is awesome.
Yes.
I love the movement in that game. I love the combat. I love just, man, that is a cool game. So, yeah, Shovel Knight, congratulations on 2.5 million copies, and I expect at least the physical copy of the Switch version. At least I expect at least 500,000 more copies. To be honest with you,
I think
because I think a lot of people are going to double dip. Like me personally, like I bought it on Wii U, and then I purchased it on Switch when it came out, right? Like I wanted to have it on my Switch.
Dude, I have it digitally on Wii U. I think I got the physical version somewhere on Wii U. I got it physically on 3DS, and I didn't buy it for a Switch because I was waiting for a physical version, and I'm gonna get that physical version for Switch.
Well, I have it on Xbox. I literally have it on everything. So I bought it on Wii U and 3DS when it first came out, because I wanted a handheld and a console version.
Yeah,
of that game. And then when they announced it for Xbox One and PS4 with exclusive content, right? Like Xbox has the Battletoads in it, which is real bad. I'm sorry, I hate the Battletoads. And then the God of War stuff in the PS4 version, which was pretty cool actually. So that's I got it there, and then I got the Switch version when it came. So I've bought that game 5 times. Yeah, worth it, worth every penny. So, we also have a question about Shovel Knight. Deshaun Malone, beloved fan, writes in, says, with Shovel Knight being the hit it was on the Wii U and 3DS, why does the Switch seem to have a huge indie audience? What does this say about Switch fans? I think, like, personally, I just think, you know, the Switch has reached people that, you know, I think people that don't play games are buying Switches, right? Like, I think it's similar but different than the Wii situation. I think a lot of people see how popular the Switch is and how people are talking about it, and it kind of has that similar effect that the Wii had, right? Where, you know, the hardcore went out and bought it day one. They talked about it. They had killer apps for it, and then the word of mouth traveled, and now, you know, with social media being super popular and everything, like, the word spread, and like the Switch is just super popular. And I think you know, we're getting great major third-party support from like Bethesda and Ubisoft and stuff, right? We have major games from publishers like that, but like Nintendo's strong first party, I think, is supplemented the best by the smaller indie games. And you know, with the Switch being a somewhat handheld device also, you know, you saw it on the Vita also, right? Where like the most popular games on the Vita were the indie titles, right? And I think the Switch is kind of carrying that torch a little bit, where, you know, it's a great console where you can plug it into your TV and play Zelda and Mario and some of these other big games. But in handheld mode, you can play these great indie games that are perfect on planes or in the car or whatever, you know, like I don't think it's like a Switch fan, like, I don't think it's exclusive to Switch fans. I think it's just, I think it's partially carrying the torch of what the Vita was doing. I think it's partially that it's a cool looking device, and I think people just like to play games, and the Switch is doing the thing that everybody wanted Nintendo to do for years, and what I think they were trying to do for years is deliver the same types of experiences across a handheld and console device. And, you know, the indie games are, it helps that the indie games are fantastic, you know, like Axiom Verge finally making it over, or, you know, even the launch indie games like Snake Pass and the Azure Striker Gunvolt series and Blaster Master Zero and Blossom Tail. Like, Lightfall is another great game that, you know, if you like Shovel Knight at all, like, I think you should play Lightfall. You know, like, that's a game we've been championing for, what, 18 months now. So, what, I'm sorry, Ed, I know you've been trying to talk for a couple.
So to answer, like, the first question, on why the Switch seems to have a huge indie audience, it's because gamers pretty much got tired of third party and how third party was treating Nintendo. A lot of gamers have gotten tired of all the excuses that third party has put out on other consoles. Like, they were showing all of these trailers, and then when the game came out, it didn't really reflect what the trailer was, and stuff about their games were still broken. People were saying that we would buy your stuff on Nintendo if you would give a fair shot. Third party didn't believe in that. They felt like Sony and Microsoft were the gateway for them to get rich and make money, and it really wasn't working. So, it was working. But if you think about it, since they decided to have that idea of their business, indie came in and started to, you know, be profitable on Nintendo's platform. They were being profitable on, even with Wii U and everything. Oh, go ahead, Corey.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I also think, like, you know, a lot of these developers, you know, a lot of them are kind of, you know, our age, and like, they grew up playing Nintendo, and the ultimate dream was to have a game on a Nintendo system, right? Like, I still think, like, a lot of indie developers think that way for now. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people now in their early 20s kind of maybe grew up on PlayStation or the original Xbox or GameCube or whatever, but like, I think a lot of people's goal was, I want to make a game for Nintendo, right? And I think Shovel Knight is like the epitome of that, because they were exclusive on Nintendo for so long before they moved to the other platforms. Were like,
yeah,
you know, and to see success, I also think, like, the Wii U had the PlayStation 3 problem where it was really incredibly difficult to develop for, you know, I
don't think it had the difficulty.
No, it was. There's interviews out there saying that it was incredibly difficult.
I think the thing about it is that they, even if you had the difficulty of developing it, learn the system. You're supposed to learn new technology, but if you start trying to think that the system is going to be like everything else and just give up on it, it's not going to work. Because the thing about it is, even if with the PlayStation 3 having problems and it not being a big seller, third party was still investing on how to learn the system and putting games out on that platform. It took a long time, though. Like, Mass Effect didn't come right away. I mean, I know the first game was published by Microsoft, but like, Mass Effect 2 didn't come right away. BioShock didn't come right away. Like, a lot of these decent sized games, it did not come to PlayStation 3 right away. And like, and a lot of that has to deal with, I think it's not the development stuff. I think their business was like, we're making more money on 360. Well, so let's focus our development on there, and then do whatever with PlayStation.
I think it was the cell processor was also incredibly expensive to develop to port to, like, to pour resources into developing for the cell processor, which, it, you know, back to Wii U is like, I think it was a combination of, you know, difficulty to develop for, plus the it being kind of technologically inferior to what was coming in the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, mixed with like the confusing marketing behind the Wii U, and like that break.
I don't agree with. I think most of it with third party is just like, you as Nintendo have an online function. So we're not going to really put our resources and time into a system that don't really have a functioning online system. Like, I mean,
that's partially true, but also the Switch doesn't really have a robust online system either. Yeah. But also, I think the Switch I think they took I think they took the lessons of what PlayStation learned from PS3 to PS4 and making it incredibly easier to develop for. I know like it takes some time to port games down to it, but it's way easier to do that, than it was to the Wii U, right?
But even with that, they half butted the development for those games because they already had in their mind that it's not going to sell on a Nintendo.
What games?
Switch,
wait, what games? What games are you talking about?
I'm just talking about Wii U third-party Wii games in Wii general. And so
the third-party games I played on Wii U were fine. Like Batman was fine, Assassin's Creed was fine. Like the games I played were fine.
But they looked at the sales. They looked at the sales numbers because they were just like, oh, because it didn't sell well on Wii U, we're not going to put any time or effort into it. Well, it was because that a lot of people got burned on Wii U because they felt like you didn't put enough time and effort compared to what the 360 and PS3 was getting with those games. So when third party remove a lot of their titles away and then really look at Switch thinking that it was going to be a big hit, indie developers came in and bam, just started running out with all of these indies. And so now that everybody is checking out all these great indies on Switch, and they started investing into physical copies for these indie games, they started seeing money rolling in. So what's happening now is that, yeah, you got that big AAA stuff on Sony and Microsoft, but we're making more of our money on the Switch, and this continue to show. Oh, Skyrim is making money, Bethesda in the door making money like that.
Skyrim's going to run on your refrigerator at this point.
well, yeah, but they wouldn't. No one would believe that Bethesda, a company who never put anything on the Nintendo platform at all, would take a chance to put it out and see how rewarded they got.
I agree with you. Like I think all the ports Bethesda has done for Switch, maybe not Youngblood so much, but like the Doom port was really good. Like I still feel that way. I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but I think the Doom port was excellent. I think the Wolfenstein 2 port was excellent. I think the Skyrim port is superior to the original version of the game. Like I think the effort they've put into those has gone a long way, and I think Youngblood was a little rough at launch. It did get a patch. It did get a stability patch. I don't know how well it's done because I haven't gone back to it, but I think Bethesda has put a lot of good work into the Switch ports that they've done. I also think let
me rephrase that. Bethesda and the companies they hired to do their port system.
Panic Button has done. Yeah, and Iron Galaxy I think did the Skyrim port, which Iron Galaxy I think is another underrated porting house that deserves a lot of credit. I also think Hellblade is a great port. I think Blizzard did a great job with Diablo. I think a lot of people think that Diablo on Switch is like, the ultimate console version, pretty much, from what I've heard recently. Yeah. So, and I think the Overwatch port is decent, like it's not the best way to play that game, but I think that, Blizzard did a decent job of getting that game on the Switch. And, they announced Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 for Switch. Maybe not Diablo 4.
Not Diablo 4, but
Overwatch 2 definitely.
Overwatch 2 was a sucker kind of announcement. They were kind of punks about that, but I won't get into that discussion.
Well, we had a discussion on Blizzard a couple episodes ago that you guys can check out. Look, I know everything business-wise is just ridiculous, but I don't really even know how to talk about that right now. But
right, anyways, I think with indies being a huge thing on Switch, because people started seeing the importance of indies and how their game getting the physical, that people were shelling out more money to get get that because it becomes a collector's item.
Yeah,
So
like I
of
think
course,
there's been limited run games and ultra rare games and like some of these people
Fan Gamer Nicholas,
they've made their business out of making physical copies for Switch because it's making them money, you know, and like, hey, we are gonna make this many games and we will sell out and then we will move on to the next thing, which I think is really cool. So
yeah.
I think I think indies on Switch are awesome. I was just going through my Switch the other day and looking at all the indies. I'm like, man, I've played more indies on this thing than I have on all my other consoles combined. You know, and that wasn't even. It was like, it wasn't by accident, but it was kind of by accident. You know, because like, oh man, Katana Zero. They like Nintendo makes a big event out of their indies, right? Like they have separate presentations for the indies that are coming out, and like, you know, Xbox kind of does the same thing, but it's been indies on Game Pass, right? And like Game Pass isn't exactly the same thing as buying an indie off the eShop, right? You know, it's just there and they get a percentage or whatever, but you know, I mean, that's how I'm playing After Party is on Game Pass, right? So I don't know. I think indies on Switch are doing great because Nintendo makes it a point to support the indies, you know.
And I think that indies have opened up the door for a third party for PC games. Like, who would think Civilization 6 would be on Switch? Who would think that some board games and stuff like that being on Switch? I think when they started seeing how much money they were making off of selling it and seeing that the user base were diving in and buying and getting these new experiences and hearing these bomb soundtracks and this tight gameplay and stuff, it really felt that not only can the Switch and the indie scene coexist, but people were getting more enjoyment out of these indie games than they were other titles, along with Nintendo titles. So what it says pretty much about Switch fans is that Switch fans are more open to get a diverse of games, really to show support for indies, AAA, first party, PC style games, second party. They're willing to show the support and go out and play this instead of relying on Game Pass or PSN or waiting for a sale to play stuff on those other consoles. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, yeah, Cuphead did really well on Xbox One. Or in the Blind Forest did great on Xbox One. And when those games came to Switch, look how those numbers jumped like crazy. That everybody was buying Cuphead. Everybody was buying Ori the Blind Forest. People were getting Hellblade. Like, these big titles that people wanted, they actually got. And they were willing to not play those games on any other platform till they came to a Nintendo to Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And Microsoft delivered. Like, that's crazy to see that people were really waiting for this to happen. You know, Hellblade made us money on those two other platforms, and they made their money on Switch.
Yeah,
like, people were going to triple dip on this game,
Hellblade.
on that game alone.
Hellblade, by the way, is a fantastic game. I don't care how you play it. Like, you should play it. Like, I did play a little bit of the Switch version. Like, there's some noticeable things that are different, but that's because, like, this is a technically impressive game, right? And, like, it's technically impressive that they got it running on Switch, first of all. And now, like, right. You know, I think, you know, not to take away from the indies or whatever, but I also think it's very impressive that they got The Witcher running on Switch. And
people went out and bought The Witcher like crazy.
I know. I want to get it really bad on Switch because, like, I've been dying for like not like a Zelda-esque adventure, but like a open world kind of RPG style thing that I could just play on Switch like a couple hours a week or whatever, and like, depending on how Hanukkah and Christmas go, like, that's gonna probably be the game that I seek to buy afterwards. So
Yeah, and like it, then Switch fans aren't really worried about graphics or anything. If it runs perfectly, if it looks good, decent enough, that people would get some enjoyment because they're gonna be like, we know that this is not gonna run as like everything else. But you got to think that they're doing it for two different purposes. The first purpose is playing this on TV and playing this on the go. The second one is to make sure that the technical stuff like frame rate, bugs and stuff like that don't happen current on this system. So they are going to make some sacrifices, but if they could provide an experience that you would have gotten on the other platforms, if this is more convenient and easier for people, that's where they're going to do that. You know, Devolver Digital with Katana Zero and some of their games, they find it easier to put it on Switch because they know these wacky, weird games that people wouldn't find interesting, the Switch community would find interesting. And so when that happens, oh, now you want to put it on PlayStation, Xbox? Well, we already got our full. But if you're willing to put it on there, yeah, maybe I'll double dip and play it on those other platforms because I did get some fun about that. People would double dip more on Switch than they would do on any other console. You know, and like definitely with it being region free, Kamiko that came out, people were importing a digital game before it even came out to a week after it came to America. People were spending the money to make sure they could get some Japanese style games that's not on Switch to come to play on their platform. That's crazy. No other platform has been able to do that I know of.
Right.
That hasn't been turned. They haven't turned their system to an emulator or anything like that, or modded their system.
Right.
So the Switch community and fan base, they would spend that money if they have to import a physical version. They will find a way to import that thing if they have to, and that's crazy. But that's the Switch fans community and how indies have been a big role in importance to Nintendo.
Yeah.
Hey, Nintendo was at GDC showing off Unity and then doing Unity and Unreal Engine 4. Making sure that those engines were able to be used on their system so people can design games.
Yeah.
Or triple play.
I mean, that's why Fortnite is on Switch, right? Like, it's like the biggest game in the world, and it's there. So
yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on to our last news story here. Just a quick one. I don't want to spend too much time on it because it's not that important, but it was a game that I think some people were looking forward to. This comes from Game Informer. Campo Santo's In the Valley of Gods is officially on hold. In a statement to Polygon, Jake Rodkin, co-founder of Campo Santo, said, "In the Valley of Gods development is on hold. While the game is not canceled, its future is uncertain as Campo Santo's staff are now working on a variety of projects for Valve, including Dota Underlords and the recently announced Half-Life Alyx. In the Valley of God's future seems even shakier, with Rodkin given an ambiguous statement on whether the team will ever return to the project. Quote, "In the Valley of God's development is on hold, but it certainly feels like a project people can and may return to." Kind of sad because that game, a lot of people really liked Firewatch, which was Campo Santo's first game, and this game got announced in 2017, and Valve purchased them and actually moved the studio to Seattle to Washington. I don't know if it's Seattle or not, but to Washington on campus at Valve. So yeah, I think a lot of people kind of figured that because a lot of the mention from it was removed from their website, and when their names started appearing in the credits for Half-Life Alyx, which is the new VR game, the new Half-Life VR game that Valve is working on, people kind of figured that this game was going to be at least on hold or delayed for a long time, and it's kind of sad, but Campo Santo is a great team, and the fact that they get to work on a new installment of Half-Life, I think probably I don't really think Half-Life is that great, but also I do kind of realize it kind of has that this moved video games ahead at some point. It's kind of like the Ocarina of Time or Final Fantasy VII style game for PC owners, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say. So I think, that's probably a big opportunity for that studio to do that, and it's understandable but sad at the same time.
I think people probably expected this more in the fact because Steam wanted to get back into, well, Valve should say, wanted to get back into video games. I think they made a decision to be like, hey, you guys are going to put this game on hold because you guys now have this opportunity to make a bigger game, and this is what we want you guys to do. And so I think that's probably what happened. I'm not worried about it. I think the game will be canceled in the future, because I think Valve is going to have them be doing more projects instead of them doing their own thing. So I think Valley of the Gods is probably, if it don't get delayed, it's going to get turned into something else. And depending on how Steam or how Valve, what they want that game to be, Valley of the Gods could turn into like Half-Life 3 or something like that.
Yeah, I kind of feel like depending on how Half-Life Alyx goes, I wouldn't be surprised if Campo Santo was like either part of or almost like a lead developer on Half-Life 3, or at least the episode 3 that's missing from that Half-Life 2 trilogy of episodes. So
I think that if I had to be sad about anything, I think Campo Santo has lost their freedom to make games that they want to make. Mm-hmm. I think they now have to do whatever Valve says, and I think that's going to be the sad thing about it. Yeah. For me personally,
which is sad because they left Telltale so they can make their own games. So yeah. So I do hope that game gets released at some point. So we're gonna move on to our question block. We have a couple questions from the audience here. Remember, you can email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com. You can email us your questions, or you can look for our social threads on Facebook and Twitter and comment and reply there. Don't forget, on your podcast, there's a choice to review and rate us. It helps us with discoverability, and we would like the show to grow. So just a quick reminder there, if you haven't done so already. We would appreciate it if you did that. I know Apple Podcasts offers a review system. Spotify offers a review system. So we are there. Please rate us there and subscribe to our YouTube page if you really want to. We're planning some content coming up there as well. So back to question block. Ed, do you want to read this first one from Adrian?
Yes. So our good friend Adrian Nieto sent us a question, and it was a really good one. I had to really think about it for a little bit, but he said, if the Mario movie is successful, what should be the next easy bet movie from Nintendo? Think we'll get the Super Smash Bros. Cinematic Universe? Okay, so no, we won't get the Smash Bros. Cinematic Universe. That's no.
That'd be hilarious though.
Yes. I think what the next one should be, if they decided to do it, I think the animated Star Fox movie will be their easy bet.
Muppet Star Fox movie.
Well, I could see that one happening.
No, I could see an animated one before.
I think Nintendo has proven that, because the little anime thing they did for Star Fox Zero was super cool, and I still want to this day a cartoon series about that.
Yeah.
But I think one of their easy bets is, I think, aside from the Pokemon thing, even if the Mario movie is successful, I think definitely Star Fox would be their next one to go to, because a Metroid one would be cool, but I think that would be more of a popcorn movie.
I feel like if they did a Metroid movie, it would have to be like almost adult in tone, right? To almost do it to get that sense of atmosphere and tone, right? Whereas like Star Fox, you could be like, oh, that's clearly like it's mimicking Star Wars a little bit, where it's just fun and cool character interactions and fun space fights and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I like that Star Fox one though, for real. That's a good one. I was thinking along the lines of Nintendo aiming more towards kids and doing like a Kirby animated movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean that's kind of like an easy one, I guess.
I think they could do like The Wizard 2 or something.
Oh jeez.
You know, to really express like, you know, really of course sell Switch, but also do like where Splatoon is included, or Splatoon 3, show some new games and like kind of mix in a movie, advertisement, and Nintendo Direct all into one, in a sense. Like, of course, the Power Glove with your Joy-Con, like to get that accessory or that kind of new thing. Like, go do a history of Nintendo systems, like with the Wii or Wii U or and stuff like that. But like really show how some cool stuff. Like they could do the Wizard 2. Yeah. With like Jenny Lewis and some of the other people, to see how they grew up and how they kids now got into like Nintendo stuff and everything. And using today's games and technology. Like that would be cool. That would be something. If it's a kid popcorn movie that you go in and be like, that was good. Not Oscar award winning. Don't need to be that. Just need to be something to be like, hey, I spent a good Saturday watching this movie with my family. Let's go get pizza or something. That'd be cool.
Oh man, pizza sounds so good right now.
I got some downstairs, so I can't wait.
Yeah, I don't really know. I could like, I know Nintendo's gonna be like really careful on what they do after Mario, right?
Yes.
Like I think the safest bet is probably a sequel to the Mario movie. But like, just judging by like what the Sonic movie is doing, like that new trailer, I think has a lot better tone piece than like that original one. I think, you know, Detective Pikachu, I know not technically Nintendo, but I think, you know, that movie showed what a decent video game movie could be.
Mix it in CGI and real life. Mix of that.
What I kind of want to see though, for real, is like a really bad F-Zero movie that's in the vein of like the Speed Racer remake from like what, 10 years ago.
Oh, that would be so blue screen. I think they would take.
Oh, that'd be so fun though. Like if they knew they were making a bad movie, like just how bad it. Oh man, that'd be so funny.
I think they'll probably steal stuff from like Fast and Furious. You know, like it would be like, this is the cool car.
Yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah, like
that'd be so funny though.
Like I would sit down and watch a medieval Fire Emblem and just like.
Yeah, but I also think like Fire Emblem would be along the lines of like, man, I don't know, like that would have to be like an anime type thing, or it either had to go extremely that direction or like Game of Thrones Witcher direction.
Well, probably so, but like to me it would be the costumes, the like they would have to really get a good costume designer for.
You know what else would be cool on that front too? Not Fire Emblem, but like Xenoblade. Like
Xenoblade would be really good.
Kind of like epic, spanning, like almost like you would almost need those to be like Netflix series or something.
Yeah.
Though.
Punch Out would be a fun one, I think.
Yeah, Punch Out like a kid's version of Rocky almost.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that would be really fun too.
Like
I think a Donkey Kong movie would work pretty well.
Yeah, that would work.
So
yeah. Now, if it be like the TV show, technology has advanced, so the graphics could really be good. I mean, Nintendo pretty much got the assets.
Just use that original Donkey Kong TV show.
Oh shoot! People would be like, "What the world is
It's
this?"
bad.
Eternal Darkness could be like a true horror movie. Like who? Like,
Yeah.
uh, um, shoot. Of course, it'll have to be like PG-13, but it really has to be like scary. It's
It
psychological.
would almost be like Black Mirror or Twilight Zone.
Yes.
So that'd be cool too.
Hotel Dust 1, 2, 3. Like, oh, please give me a Hotel Dust like a movie. I would go for a nice like mystery thriller or Professor Layton, and well, of course, well, not really Professor Layton because it has an animated movie, and that was Level 5, which is a good
Yeah.
movie. I got it on PS3. Really enjoyed that. But that would kind of be like a nice kind of caper movie if they had to do it. But Professor Layton doesn't belong to Nintendo. That's Level 5.
Yeah.
In a sense. Um, Excite Bike could be a nice mix of another racer, but like be it like with crime and kind of actiony in a sense, like something with cool like motorbikes and everything. Actually, probably mix Excite Bike with 18 nonsense.
Oh, jeez.
like like that would listen like can you think of it? I might have to actually throw this on BoxBoy's page. What Nintendo game that you could make in a movie if you throw in some 18 nonsense? And I want to see what the replies would be.
Man. All right, let's move on to our next question here. Another Facebook question we got late in the show. Justin Villarreal, is that how you say that? Villarreal?
Yeah, that is my old boss from the Nominous podcast, Critical Nominee. That's my old boss. That's this network I was on. Option Opinion was on.
Oh, okay. Cool. So I want to pick just a couple each, like 3 or 4, but he asks, what are the best exclusives for Nintendo as of now? I'm hoping Ultimate Alliance is one. The best exclusives for me, I think, are Breath of the Wild, Fire Emblem. I think Super Mario Maker makes that list for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And man, there's I think Mario Kart 8 makes that list too. I know that's a pretty generic list, but like there's a lot of great games on Switch, you know.
So of course Bayonetta 2, if you haven't played that. Link's Awakening, Luigi Mansion 3. Yes, Ultimate Alliance 3 is definitely a good one of their best on there.
It's definitely, you know, I think it was received a lot better than I think people were expecting, which was exciting to a lot of people. And the X-Men DLC is excellent, I hear.
Yes, really is. And they're still releasing a lot of it. Of course, Smash Ultimate, Hyrule Warrior, if you haven't played that on Wii U, that's a good one to get. Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Xenoblade, the Story of Tarnum, or The Last of Tarnum, that DLC, that one is good. The games that you mentioned, Corey, definitely like Astral Chain is definitely a good one. Dragon Quest S, Dragon Quest 11S, because that is exclusive on Nintendo. It's not the same one that's on PlayStation 4. So you are getting more on the Switch version than you are on anything else. So definitely try that out. Of course, my love, Demon X Machina, love that game. Like truly love that game. Yoshi's Crafted World.
Notice I said 3 or 4, and Ed's mentioned 12 games so far. So. I mean, to be fair, Nintendo, in terms of exclusives, like I still think the Wii U has a ton of great exclusives.
Yeah.
But like, I think Nintendo has really done a lot with Switch in terms of exclusives and stuff. So,
Splatoon 2 and ARMS.
Yeah.
And if you're up to doing some Mario Tennis, you can do that too. But be warned, it's kind of there. It's fun with the kid.
It's better than the one on Wii U. Yes. All right.
I wish I could say Puyo Tetris, but that's on PlayStation.
It's a great game.
It's a great game. Tetris 99, of course. That's exclusive only on Switch, Nintendo Switch. Yeah, and it's free. Yeah, get that.
All right, Ed, do you want to read the last question from Deshaun from Twitter?
Yes,
since he sent it to you and not me. Rude. Rude.
Yes. So Deshaun asks, what unexpected announcements will show up on Switch next year? Me and Corey kind of was talking about this, and I think Darksiders 3, because there is no plan of that game coming to the system, but I think that would get announced next year. Another one would be Ori and the Blind Forest 2 will probably be announced, but come later on down in the year.
I think that's kind of expected, though. It's weird because like the last time we were talking about like the smaller Xbox titles coming to Switch, like people got mad that we were like talking about these Xbox games coming to Switch, and they're like, and people were like, Xbox said they have no more plans to bring any more games to Nintendo. I'm like, yeah, but that's what they said after Cuphead. And then we got Ori, and that's what they said. I mean, that's what they said after Minecraft, and then we got Cuphead.
I think, or because it wasn't it.
It was Minecraft. It was Minecraft, then Cuphead, then Ori, and Hellblade.
And then Hellblade.
Yeah, I mean Hellblade. Technically, I think Microsoft helped. I think Microsoft helped get that game there, but I know they didn't publish it. I know Ninja Theory self-published that, but I think we're gonna see a lot more. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Battletoads came to Switch, right? Like, that seems like a decent Switch like port, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, just judging by the games we've gotten before, we got. I mean, Super Lucky's Tale. I know. I don't think that was like a Microsoft made game because I think it came to VR and Microsoft helped fund the quote flat screen experience for that game, but like that game came to Switch with some other features like I'm expecting Wasteland 3 to be on Switch because Wasteland 2 was on it. I don't expect like I kind of almost expect Grounded to be on Switch at some point too, right? Because like I don't think that game like is out of the realm of possibility in terms of like you look at something like Fortnite that's very similar with the building and big map and people kind of I know that Grounded is like what 12 to 16 people on a map instead of 100 like Fortnite. Like I see some of these other quote unquote Xbox games coming to Switch at some point. So I don't know. I could see that. I also think like I feel like we're gonna get some sort of Ubisoft collaboration again next year. I think a lot of people safe bet is like the Mario plus Rabbids 2, but I think it's gonna be something different. I think it's gonna be like man, I don't even know what it could be, but I don't think it's gonna be Mario plus Rabbids 2 yet.
I think even though this is a port, I think DMC Devil May Cry is coming to Switch. I think
I would
maybe Vita for Joe and Okami 2 is coming to Switch. Like
I would love to see a lot of those old Capcom games start coming over. Even the new ones. Like I would love to see like, because like I wouldn't think these games would make it over, but like having a game like The Witcher on Switch like clears the slate of that for me, right? Like I think Resident Evil 2 Remake could be on Switch, right? Like I think even Resident Evil 7, like I think those games could be, and like there's going to be an announcement of, the Resident Evil 3 remake, all that art leaked today on the PlayStation Network, quote unquote leaked.
I wouldn't be surprised if Steam got on it and Portal 1 and Portal 2 shows was a Switch. Like with the Joy-Con, like
Yeah,
like serious.
I mean,
like why not that game is not on that?
I mean, I could totally see Portal. Like, I think I think Portal is a game that a lot of people already expected to be on Switch at some point, right?
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's not like Portal doesn't exist on Switch. That Portal Bridge Constructor game's already on Switch, right? Like, why wouldn't you put the first two games on there?
Right. Like people will spend the $40. Like even if they want to put the Orange Box on there, people will spend the $60. I don't think they'll do 40. I think they would literally pay the $60 to play that.
I think they would just. I don't think it would be the Orange Box though. I think it would be like a Portal collection, and then like maybe like a Half-Life remastered collection type thing. You know.
Is it Team Fortress?
Yeah, because that game. I don't think a lot of people play that game anymore. I mean, it probably has its audience, right? But I don't. It's. I mean, I think Overwatch has kind of taken that banner of players. So,
I could see Gwent also being on Switch. I know we talked about that before.
Yeah, I mean, card games I think is relatively easy to see on Switch, right? Like Hearthstone and Gwent and well, not Artifact.
No. I wonder why Uno's not on there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're gonna see. I don't know, man. I still think like. I don't know. I still think we're gonna see like a big Assassin's Creed game on Switch next year, like maybe a port of Odyssey or Origins. I think we're gonna see like because the Viking one is supposedly coming next year, right? So
yeah.
I would love to see a portable Assassin's Creed, like a new Assassin's Creed. Not like, don't get me wrong, 3, 4, and Rogue are great games, but like the modern Assassin's Creed games are awesome.
I think Platinum's first developed and published game will show up on Switch.
Wait, who?
Platinum Games.
What?
Because they're going to be they want to publish their own games and stuff. I think they're going to put their first developed and published game on Switch. Because I mean, even though they're done with Astral Chain,
I think Wonderful 101 sequel gets announced next year, and they're going to port Wonderful 101 finally.
They have to go do Sega do that.
I don't care. Oh, like Sega's going to say no.
Did Nintendo publish it or Sega?
I think Nintendo published it.
Okay, then they would have to go do Nintendo to get that published. I'm talking about literally not having Nintendo published.
No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
But Wonderful 102, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, there's only one more Wii U and 2 more Wii U games 3 more Wii U games that I want on Switch now that haven't been announced. So.
That Pikmin 3?
No. Well, shoot. Okay, maybe there's more than that. Okay, we're going to say 5 Wii U games that haven't made their way over to Switch yet. So,
Pikmin 3, Super Mario 3D World, Yoshi's Woolly World,
no,
Xenoblade Chronicles X,
and then the 2 Zelda games.
Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, so that's 6.
Yeah. I mean, that's it, right? I mean, out of the major games, and Pikmin 3, like, those are the major ones. That's 7.
That's 6. I'll count them Pikmin 3. That's 1.
So, yeah, man. There's also a rumor that the Batman Arkham trilogy could be coming to Switch next year, too.
Yeah. And EA need to get off their tail. Give us that Mass Effect trilogy.
Yeah, geez, Stop playing us Mass Effect and Dead Space trilogies, man. Even something dumb like Dante's Inferno, right? Like,
right.
I mean, give us something
stupid. Need that money. And we would spend them coins.
Yeah, dude.
To help develop their next game that they want.
If BioWare's gonna redo Anthem, like they're saying, like you're gonna need to sell some Mass Effect. I'm sorry.
You could literally put Trilogy out of the blue for $60 right now, dude, I bet you they would crash their system.
Dude, you could download it again. Dude, you could sell each of those games individually for $40 a piece, and people would buy them.
I'll be downloading part 1 and 2. Well, I won't download 1. I'll download 2 and 3 with the quickness. I would spend the $80 right now.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, one is a fantastic story that is incredibly hard to go back to. We'll just put it that way. But I think we're gonna, honestly though, in the spirit of the question, I think we're gonna see some remasters or ports of older games from companies that have not yet supported Switch, which EA, well, Activision kind of has already, honestly, with Crash and Spyro, which are good ports, by the way. I mean, not that those games are great, but they're what the games are supposed to be. They're good ports. So
yes,
that's my expectation. I think we're gonna start seeing some major remakes and remasters drop next year. So
2K, how about you give us Spec Ops: The Line and stop playing with us?
I could see Rockstar dropping GTA 5 next year on Switch. Not that I really care, but that's been a rumor for a while. By the way, speaking of games that I do want, where's my Tomb Raider trilogy?
Okay, Square Enix, we need our trilogy.
There's literally 360 versions of the first two games. Where are they?
We have spent enough coins on y'all to show that we want those games.
Oh man, where's that game? So
I want to play Rise on the go. I want to play Shadow, definitely on the go.
Oh man, dude, the Shadow of the Tomb Raider is still a fantastic game. I
still got the DLC that I need to start.
I will stand by Shadow of the Tomb Raider forever. So, anyways, that's all of our questions. I think we got the point across of games that we want to see on Switch.
Yes. That are unexpected.
I feel like we kind of fall into that trap of just like, oh yeah, I would love to see that game on Switch. Oh yeah, that game. Oh yeah, that game. So apologies for that, but look, Switch is a great console, and I think it deserves some more on that system. So
yes.
That's all of our questions. Thank you guys so much for writing in. Remember, you can email us at nintendopavlok@gmail.com. or look for our social threads. Remember to also subscribe, rate, and review us on your platform of choice. We would really appreciate it if you did that. This was a killer episode of Nintendo Power Block. I'm incredibly happy with we got some good feedback from the last episode. I feel like a lot of people mentioned me specifically that I've felt a little bit more awake, and it was good to see that feedback that our groove is back. I know just Sean mentioned us on Twitter and said that it felt like we got our groove back, and I kind of felt that way, and I feel that way about this episode too. It was a good time. Episode 173 in the books. I want to thank everybody so much for listening and or watching. Remember, you can find it on Saturdays at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on your podcast service of choice. We do record early in the week. I'm sure there will be stuff that we miss, but I don't care. You're getting it on Saturday because I want to edit it and make sure it's great for you to listen to. You can find all of our content on bossrushgames.com. Remember, we are going to start doing our live shows soon, so you can follow us on Boss Rush Games live on Twitch and Mixer. We will be dual streaming there as well. Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThePretcherCode, and you guys can check out Our Show Opinion on SoundCloud and other podcast apps. Sorry everybody that I haven't been doing new episodes, but I will get that out. Trust me, there's going to be some great content, and you will know that Our Show Opinion is part of now Boss Rush Games. So you will hear a lot of love for BRG and when I start doing more episodes. So it is part of the BRG network, and hopefully you guys will check it out. Also, we will be talking about the Game Awards after it's showing, so you guys will be able to check that out.
Are they this Friday or next Friday?
They're next Friday.
Next Friday, yeah.
And I'm off next Friday.
Yeah, we might have to do a watch along. I think if I can get it all set up by then, I think it's time for a Game Awards watch along.
Yes.
Anyways, you can find me at CoreyNHT713 on Twitter, CoreyNHT on Instagram and Mixer. You can also find us on the Boss Rush podcast, Boss Rush Games flagship podcast about video games and other cool stuff. Join our Facebook group, follow us on Twitter, all that stuff. Play games and be better. And I want to thank everybody so much for watching. And until next week, we love you.
Bye, everybody. Woohoo!